Cash App founder Bob Lee, 43, attended underground sex and drug parties with married sister of his accused killer in the weeks before his murder in San Francisco. Cash App founder Bob Lee was allegedly a regular at underground sex and drug parties with other San Francisco elites, including the sister of the man accused of killing him. According to a New Wall Street Journal report, Lee's stabbing death on April 4th was originally thought to have been the result of random violence in the crime-ridden city. But friends of the tech mogul now say it was the result of Lee's partying with Kaiser Mameni, a 37-year-old wife of a prominent plastic surgeon, and the sister of Nima Mameni, who has been charged in his death. Kaiser and Lee were in a relationship in the weeks leading up to his death in early April, his friends told the Wall Street Journal, and many feared he had fallen into a dangerous lifestyle, surrounding himself with the wrong group of people. Prosecutors have previously said Mameni stabbed Lee in the heart multiple times, after vowing to come down hard on him, and grilling him over his relationship with Kaiser, with whom the Cash App founder exchanged intimate text messages. Friends of the murdered tech mogul described how the father of two took drugs casually and partied regularly. They said Lee, 43, was passionate about developing the Venmo competitor, following his career as a Google programmer. But to unwind, Lee, nicknamed Crazy Bob, would allegedly take ketamine and cocaine and travel to raves across the world. Once, Harper Reid, the CEO of General Classic Corporation, claimed he and Lee even stripped off their pants to attend a party. Lee, who was separated from his wife, would often sleep with multiple women at these parties, including Kaiser, sources told the Wall Street Journal. It was at one of these parties on April 3rd, when Nima, who sources say was a recluse at these parties, often standing in the corner, confronted Lee. Prosecutors say Nima asked Lee if he and his sister were doing drugs or anything inappropriate. Lee assured him that nothing inappropriate had happened. A few hours later, Lee was found dead with multiple stab wounds. Authorities now say that Nima and Lee met up again later that night at Kaiser's luxury apartment in Millennium Tower. Surveillance footage showed the two getting into Nima's white BMW at around 2 a.m. on April 4th. And leave the scene. He is believed to have drove Lee to a secluded area several streets over, where he stabbed the Cash App founder multiple times with a kitchen knife. Nima then allegedly left Lee to bleed out in the middle of the street. Lee was seen stumbling and was begging for help that night before collapsing near the Bay Bridge, just 16 minutes from Kaiser's apartment. Police have said Kaiser was texting Lee around the time he died. "Just wanted to make sure you're doing okay cause I know Nima came way down hard on you," she wrote in one of these messages. "And thank you for being such a class man, handling it with class. Love you selfish pricks." An ensuing autopsy found he had cocaine and ketamine in his system at his death. Nima's friends have previously told how his life was unraveling, as he was dealing with a drug addiction that made him unable to reason and speak, fascinated with weapons, and a history of abuse accusations from an ex-girlfriend. "This is one of those things where we'd say, Nima, you're cool. We love you. But you don't make full sentences," one longtime friend speaking on a condition of anonymity told Mission Local. The friend said that he was extremely close to Sister Kaiser, to the detriment of other friendships. "I don't know who Nima considered his closest group. Besides his sister," they said. "He would do absolutely anything for her, and she would do anything for him." His personal life was equally problematic, according to an ex-girlfriend. "He was not nice behind closed doors," she told the outlet. "Called me probably the worst names I've ever been called." She also said he would be threatening and possessive, and did not like when spoke to other men. She suspected he would eventually physically abuse her. In fact, police records show he did become physically abusive, allegedly pushing a woman at his California home in August 2022. "I honestly think that he's scary, and I always thought he was scary after I got to know him," the ex-girlfriend said. She believes that he may be bipolar, because one minute he will be fine, and the next he will go off for no reason. A police report said, as he was cited by never charged with battery. The outlet claimed he also frequented sex workers, and his behavior with them led to his phone number showing up on a website that shared potentially dangerous clients. Others have described him as a boundary pusher, with one source accusing him of having snatched me by the hair after I said not to. Another review corroborated his cocaine use and called him heavily armed, with others accusing him of owning ghost guns, the outlet reported. "He loved his guns. He talked about his guns all the time," said another former ex-girlfriend of Mameni, who also said he kept many knives. He was a fan of violence. But Nima's attorney, Paula Canny, has denied these claims. "I don't think that's true," she said of the allegations he was a drug addict. "I don't think that he had a drug problem, a serious drug problem. Based on the info that I have, I certainly wouldn't classify him as a drug addict." She also denied the allegations about his behavior with women and whether he owned firearms. "I don't think he's ever owned a firearm. I just think that's not true," Canny said, but added she did not know for sure. "Based on what I know, I believe there was nothing of any evidentiary value found when the police searched Nima's apartment on the night they arrested him." She added, "I don't know how to react to that either. That's not my experience of Nima," when asked about his abusive behavior, noting that everybody has enemies who wanted to trash his reputation. The attorney noted that Nima plans to plead not guilty to the murder charge. And in a statement to the Wall Street Journal, she said, "My team and I continue to work hard to investigate all the many aspects of this case and the goings-on of the weeks preceding the incident." In a statement, Kayser's attorneys also seemed to deny her involvement with Lee. "There are many rumors circulating around this case, many of them untrue," attorneys Mary McNamara and Ed Swanson told the Journal. "Ms. Mameni loves and supports her brother," they added. "What happened here is a tragedy, and Ms. Mameni is deeply saddened at the suffering of the Lee family as they deal with their terrible loss." Lee's ex-wife, Krista, also denied that her estranged husband was a partier. "He was a dedicated father," she said of Lee. "He was more mature than that." DailyMail.com has reached out for comment from Nima and Kayser's attorneys.